Having left the mountains, Peter now enters the central Chinese plain.
I'm releasing my power. 释放能量.
In his itinerary, the central province of Henan is an important stop for Peter. Shaolin, where he once learned martial arts, is a top priority.
Going to Shaolin was great, very interesting. Because Shaolin, as I remember it, there's the monastery and then there was kind of a stadium for the martial arts shows. It was pretty quiet. It was a mountain town. So coming to Shaolin now, and there's just a 4 or 6 lane highway that goes up the valley to Shaolin. You know, it has a tram that you go to the top of the mountain. It has a whole campus with shuttle buses. Big boulevards and lots of schools for teaching Shaolin style Kung Fu. And we were told that there were up to 130,000 students in Dongfeng, the town at the bottom of the hill, studying Wushu. There's like a Wushu factory, right? There's a whole industry now. And the kids were very, very disciplined, very, very serious as I was taking photographs. And so I could catch somebody's eye and give them a thumbs up or a little shinkula.
Shaolin Temple in northwest Henan was a cradle for China's most famous martial art, Kung Fu. It has long been a mecca for both Chinese and foreigners wishing to train in the skill. In 1994, Peter was one of them.
And then they were just kids. So when I was able to follow them after all their exercises first thing in the morning into their dorm area where they were all excited about having breakfast. 你的老家在哪儿？湖北。恩施，我去过了2次。第一次是1周周4，我70岁到恩施，32年前。
那时候还没有出生。
这个地方我很喜欢，有山有河。
那是我的老家。
对，你的老家。你是多大了
？14岁。
14岁，哦。He was very accomplished and only 14 years old and not very big. And he had great shoes. Did you see his shoes? His sparkly, obviously special Kung Fu shoes. And so he walked me through a series of similar, or maybe the same series of movements. So I got the opportunity to have an actual instructor for the same sort of series of wushu movements. Oh. Yeah.
In the training room, Peter has 14-year-old Cai Hongyu put him through his paces.
The same thing in me.
In spite of their more than 50 years age difference, Peter is happy to let the young student be his master.
He changed the first movement.
Like the Chinese language he learnt, Peter is having trouble remembering the basic skills he was taught nearly 3 decades ago. He is following Cai Hongyu's moves, but it isn't easy. Although he is not as flexible or energetic as his young teacher, Peter still finds the lighter side of the exercise.
He was a really good instructor. He came and made adjustments for me that were specific and helpful. And he was just a cool little kid. He's only 14.
A highlight of Peter's 1994 visit to Shaolin was a thrilling martial arts show. Seeing his teacher move makes him remember the excitement of watching performing monks.
There's a performance theater for Shaolin style Kung Fu. There were two boys, one in a bright orange Kung Fu performance outfit. And so that's what drew my attention because he's next to a big drum. They said, hey, come, the show is going to begin pretty soon. You should come. And because they are performers in the show every other week. One of the things I love about China is that people, communities, groups like to gather in public spaces to, maybe they dance, maybe they do some exercise, maybe they sing. Participation, to me, is, I don't know it anywhere else in the world.
After 27 years, the Shaolin pole fighting performance is still fascinating for Peter. It's taken these monks many years to attain such a level.
The boys took my hand and had absolutely no idea what was going on before she pointed to me with a microphone. Come to the stage. And other people were starting to come to the stage. And it was like, thank you, boys. Okay, what have I gotten myself into? So before I knew it, I was on stage. And I had to give my cameras away. And it was a Kung Fu contest. There are two little boys, right? And me, who were doing this Kung Fu contest.
接下来究竟哪一位能够成为冠军呢？我们拭目以待。首先看一下第一位小朋友身手怎么样？上部转身给歌手。
The boy next to me followed the leader in doing some routines, some kicks, some positions, and he was quite good. I mean, a curly head of hair. Did you see? I mean, he had this big curly head of hair. Anyway, he did a very good job. He was really nice. And then it was my turn.
接下来呢，看一下第二位朋友身手怎么样？赤部冲拳，之后一个侧手腕。You control your eyes and be careful.
Needless to say, I did not win. I hope it's entertaining. I had fun.
Peter has enjoyed the contest and his training at Shaolin, but now his back is starting to hurt.
Whoops.
The exertion has added to the strain of carrying his laden bicycle up and down stairs. It's time for a trip to the Shaolin Temple pharmacy.
Whoa, that's heavy.
Traditional Chinese medicine has a range of treatments for sports injuries. What can it do for Peter?
你好。 我看一看这个可以吗？
可以。
OK，
这边中药。
谢谢。Their expertise is around injuries and broken bones and things that have to do specifically with wushu. 啊，你好。哇，这个味道非常好。
都是一些草药。
没有味道。
这个叫杜仲，就是藕断丝连。比如说骨头断了，然后呢，它这个丝啊还连起来的。骨头如果断了之后呢，然后那个筋连在一块儿，那就是这种药材。您这次过来是有什么安排吗？
在中国每天3次吃饭，我的身体，慢慢，我要some medicine to help me poop。真的，这是
药。
tasting this。
少林寺药局啊，这个始创于是在公元1271年，到现在已经是800多年历史了。咱药局这样1700多个方子啊，一直都流传下来，从来没有流失过。因为是佛教嘛，都是普度世人，你只要愿意过来学，咱们就愿意过来教。就大家如果需要的话，这些东西都是可以在网上都可以搜到的。啊。
Okay. I got to try some of the Chinese medicine just for vitality. I'm not a big fan of.
什么味道？
It was okay until the bottom. 哇，
良药苦口嘛。
我的腿有点疼，身体累。
待会儿呢，可以教你几个按摩的动作，您自己给自己揉。这套是易筋经里面一个动作，叫两手托天理三交，来十指交叉放到手
So
腹。
we did an Yijing practice under a shady tree because it was a hot day in front of a beautiful old temple that had reconstructed. That was cool. And the practice that we did was gentle, strenuous but gentle, slow but strenuous. And, you know, the kind of classic movement, not quite as slow as Qigong, taking the sun to the moon. Movements that were meant to sort of center your qi, center your energy, but also a lot of it felt like stretching. So I do a lot of yoga, and so there were some similarities between what we were doing and yoga.
像脖子不好的话，都用这个动作都可以练练。再来一次。 不管是易筋也好，还有刚才说的这些功夫，你要坚持个2、3年之后啊，他人就是要脱胎换骨。你在感受这个气血走动的时候，那你就什么都不要想，就只关注着你自己的身体，必须要每天坚持才行。
After practicing the exercises Master Yan Bai has taught him, Peter's pain has been slightly relieved. They rest for a while, and Master Yan Bai decides to lead him to revisit Shaolin Temple.
你看这棵树啊，全部都是用手啊戳出来的一个洞。这一棵树呢，有1500年历史，它和少林寺啊是同岁。
Depressions in the ground were created by the feet of monks as they practiced wushu. A master of Zen sat and meditated next to a wall for 9 years, leaving just his outline. The trip to Shaolin Temple is approaching its end. It's time to say goodbye.
那就祝你一路顺风吧，路上啊注意安全。
我希望回来小林。
好的，
5年，10年，10年。
我还在这里。
谢谢，再见。
When he arrives in the ancient capital of Luoyang, the sun has already set.
After 27 years to come back to Luoyang, which is one of my favorite. For the night market, wow. That's a big change since 1994, that's for sure. Okay.
整个交叉丸子。
请给我一个。
要一个这个。
对，现在我买，谢谢。Union Pay now is much more available. Mm. 好吃。
好吃。
hot. Very hot.
Peter has vivid memories of the street food in Luoyang in 1994. All kinds of delicious snacks were on sale, from noodles and tofu to sesame seed cakes, and he was unable to stop eating.
The smoke is basically like the incense that can help you get better sleep.
But this is good. I got some sleep. I had a dream. In the middle of Henan, in 1994, I was using a water bottle, and the water bottle spilled, and I had a burn on my leg. So I had to ride to, I think Nanyang was the next big town. I had rode there and sought out medical treatment. Hospitals look more traditional. I had 10 hours of sleep. I feel great.
这个艾灸的主要原料是艾草，它这个功效就是可以祛湿祛寒，然后比如说你关节痛、日常保健都可以用它，然后可以作为药效，也可以作为食材用。比如说咳嗽，我们就可以拿它做鸡蛋汤。端午节了，在家门口挂上艾草，用作驱蚊辟邪。河南的南阳就很多产这个艾草的，现在有很多大规模的种植。您要有兴趣的话，可以去我们南阳艾草基地去看一看。
Nanyang was the hometown of the great Han Dynasty physician, Zhang Zhongjing. His contribution to traditional Chinese medicine is a big part of local culture here.
This bird call I've heard so many years in China, but nowhere else. Migratory bird comes back in the springtime, and the bo gu apparently sounds a bit like plant seeds. Anyway, it was great, and I got to sing with one of them.
With the blessing that comes from harvesting wormwood, Peter continues towards his next stop at the Shennongjia Forestry District. Shennongjia was named after the mythical Chinese ruler who, legend has it, gathered herbs here. He taught the Chinese people not only the secrets of herbal medicine, but also how to practice agriculture.
Ooh. Somewhere between Shennongjia and the last place. Just go down. Name and sign. I don't even know where we are. I didn't check my map. Go.
When riding in Hubei in 1994, Peter managed to get lost in the outskirts of Shennongjia.
More dirty, wet socks.
Without his GPS app guiding him, Peter has once again missed his turn. In a place with so many winding roads, it was easily done.
The fun part about that restaurant was that there were bicyclists from the local club. They called themselves the Savage Club. There will be more pong.
不要他们图方向。
谢谢，我不会，真的我不会。
The cycling enthusiasts recognize each other and quickly make friends.
祝您健康。
After their big meal, they all decide to ride together.
好，我带路，好吧，跟着我，准备出发。
I'm so happy to see Chinese bicyclists out on the road. That's amazing how big the bicycle and how popular ultra has become.
我从30多岁开始热爱上单车运动，我们发现现在在我的鼓励下，现在我们有5000多人。我们欢迎国内外的所有的户外运动爱好者来我们美丽的防线，享受户外运动带给我们的健康和快乐。
So it's very interesting to me, right, in 1994, the vehicles were mostly bicycles or Sunland.
加油！
加油！
再见！
再见！ Now there are real communities of people that bicycle, or very, very serious bicyclists. I feel free. I can fly.
Saying goodbye to the cycling team, Peter continues on his ride towards Shenlongjia.
The rain started to get hard, so I wanted to put on my raincoat, and that's when I saw the bee people.
你好，哎，你好，你好。我要拍照，可以吗？可以，OK， 谢谢。
So in 1994, also saw beekeepers, and they were very generous with their time and showing us the bees and being able to lift out these racks.
辣吗？没甜，你刺疼了？不疼，没甜，不疼，不疼。为什么？习惯了。需要戴这个防风帽。啊。对，小心蜜蜂蛰人。OK。 Yes.
These bees are kept in a particular shape, like a birdhouse shape of hive that he is put up on a cliffside.
哇，压力很陡下。啊，没问题，没问题。
It's very interesting. He says it's to keep the bears away. There are bears in the area. The thing that's interesting to me is he's been able to attract Asian bees.
像我们这里养的主要就是中华小蜜蜂，也是神农架一个特有的品种。中华小蜜蜂的区别主要是它善于采集大山里面的零星散蜜。神农架的植被从3月一直到10月份有不同的植被开花，这里一点那里一点，只有中华小蜜蜂它才能把绿源收集起来。1年以后，它才能把这些植被的花蜜综合到一起酿成熟。哦。 这个是艾草，艾草是消毒的，让它更温顺。I was burning the 艾草 in my room.
They did show me one quick hive, like a volcanic landscape or something on the moon or something. It was very cool. It was very beautiful. These bees have more sensory. They're able to find more kinds of different flower, so the honey is better.
品尝一下我们的中华小蜜蜂的蜂蜜。
I think it was the best honey I've ever had in my life.
Oh, that's so good. 非常好。
So fresh and standing there in the rain, eating honey and being fed like a baby. It was fabulous. Absolutely delightful experience.
That's so good. 好的布料 Awesome. 好香。I would like to eat more. It really is so good.
I mean, I'm interested in bees because they are foundation of growing life. And without bees, most plants don't grow. They need to be pollinated.
现在的生态环境保护特别好以后啊，它的蜜源植物也特别多。 中华蜜蜂它就更愿意在这里居住了，对生态保护起了很大的作用。
Saying goodbye to the beekeeping couple, Peter goes on in the rain.
It's also a very beautiful time. I don't mind riding in the rain. I like riding in the rain. The sound of the rain is refreshing. We're riding along the river. You can hear the river almost gathering noise, gathering speed. That's a fun challenge.
Here we go.
C'est la vie.
Yeah.